You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Neri here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennessee Shoichi's Path. So, guys, let's go ahead and jump right back to where we left off in the coming home, I guess, from the supermarket. Planning a big welcome back home party for Shoichi's dad and all of his older man friends. But yeah, here we go, guys. Please sit back and enjoy. Let's do it. All right, alarm changer up, and let's go. All right. I gave him a pretty general talking to and told him he couldn't come and go whenever he wanted, that he wasn't allowed to disrespect Coach and the other members. Kept trying to bring up what happened on the rooftop. Probably wanted to provoke me so I'd forget again. Sounds like it was a hard time. I'm not sure I'd call it a hard time. It was annoying at most. Regardless, once I was done chewing him out, he quieted down a little. Didn't cause any problems for practice that day. Did he agree to go see the school counselor? That's a whole other issue. I'm afraid I won't be able to do much to fix. He's resisting the idea? I wish resisting was all he's been doing. He actively told me to go fuck myself, and to borrow his words, said that he's not a fucking pansy that needs to talk about his feelings and shit. And he said he was fine. That's not ideal. Not ideal? That's already grossly downplaying the severity of the situation here. Do you have any idea of something you could do to help? Conk him on the head, drag his unconscious body to the counselor's office, and strap him down to a chair? Be serious. The problem is, I was being serious. Wow. Yeah, the situation is exactly easy to deal with. As long as he behaves, the school doesn't care much about what he does. They'll stop pushing for it if he stops acting like a delinquent. Which does nothing to help him. I mean, even if he's a dick, he's suffered a lot of abuse in his life, right? A person like that needs help, not to get tossed to the side. I think you're overestimating how much the school can do in this situation. It's not like I want it to happen either. If he's a pain in the ass, he's a member of my team. Even if he's a pain in the ass, he's a member of my team. I want to help him if I can. But it's not all flowers. No one has the power to force him to go see a shrink. And if you did, you can't force him to talk. He's been dealt a bad hand in life, and he's resistant to getting help. There's not much anyone can do about that. Even if everything he's saying makes sense, I just can't accept it. Yuuichi, I know that look on your face. Please don't tell me you're gonna seek him out. That's going to end badly. Who says I'm going to do anything like that? It's written all over your face. You're thinking about how this sort of thing is unacceptable and that you want to take matters into your own hands, aren't you? How did you know that? At the risk of repeating myself, how long do you think I've known you for? It's not in your nature to ignore someone who needs help. I know that much all too well. That's the main reason we became friends in the first place. But don't forget that you're not the only one who wants to do something. I'm also doing what I can to help on my side of things. Do you really think you could do better? I honestly don't know, but I still don't like it. What are you, a child? Just accept that there are some things you can't fix. I know that, but that doesn't mean I can just stand still and do nothing. Sure, you might be doing your best to help, but you've also got to remember the fact that you're already strapped for time with all your obligations. Something like this just wouldn't rank high on your priority list. There's no way you could dedicate enough time to helping him. Do you really have to fight me on everything? Alright, fine, I'll bite. What makes you think you'd do any better? You're just as strapped for time as I am most days. Sure, you skip practice a lot, but you're still supposed to be going every day. It's not like you have a magic formula to deal with this kind of thing. What exactly are you thinking of doing? Just sitting next to him and annoying him until he accepts your friendship? It worked on you, right? You're shitting me right now, right? There's no way you're being serious. Please tell me you're not going to do that. Why shouldn't I? Well, to begin with, he's not a 6-year-old. It might have worked on me when we were that young, but do you really think annoying a pissed-off teenager is going to be the solution to his problems? Now that you mentioned it. I guess Yuuichi retains his role as the voice of reason for another day. You're way too rash with these things. Can you please just leave this problem alone? Let the teachers and other people in charge handle it. Sure, the teachers are already passing the bill down to you and having you deal with it. That surely inspires trust. But then again, if I continue to disagree with him, we'll probably be stuck here all night. Fine, whatever you say, boss. Why does this make me feel any more at ease? Because you know me too well. You're just imagining things. I hope for both our sakes that you're telling the truth. Somehow we ended up at the diner where Saya works. I guess Yuuichi wasn't kidding when he said they're open late. We both decided to order burgers since we wanted something we could eat quickly. I wish Saya-chan was on shift today. It's been fun to tease her. It'd be fun to tease her again. Leave that poor girl alone. You really are a fearless man, aren't you? Even after she threatened to reveal your secret, whatever that is, you're still up for teasing her? What's life without a few risks? Plus, there's no way she'd actually do it. Even Saya has a heart, you know. Is it really that bad? Your secret, I mean. As if I'd tell you what it is. Oh, come on. I'm not even asking you to tell me everything. Just a little hint. Nah. Nuh-uh. No way in hell. Geez, if you keep so much secrecy over it, it's just going to make me more curious. That argument didn't work the first time. It's not going to work now. Rats. Rats off to you. Alright, I'll just change the subject since it seems you're not going to budge anyway. Thank you. Although I won't lie, it's been bugging me for a while. I wonder, would Saya-chan tell me if I pestered her enough? I know this kind of makes me an awful friend, but I really want to know. Well, I'll leave that one for another time. Is there anything else we need to get done for the party? We already got most of the shopping done today. I've already planned out how I want the decor to be done. It's not going to be anything fancy. I'm having a welcome home sign custom painted for him. Other than that, it's mostly some balloons. I'd probably chalk custom painted art as something fancy. I mean, sure, I might have splurged a little bit, but it's my dad. I can't just go with anything. He'd chew me out if I did. Wouldn't he also chew you out for spending too much money on something he considers silly? That is a fair point. To sum it up, he's going to get chewed out regardless. This is one of those scenarios where the only way to win is to not play. Are you sure you're not going to invite Hitoka-chan to it? This again? I thought the subject was already settled. It is, I don't know, it's hard to swallow. I get it, but trust me, it's just better for everyone involved like this. That's a very weak argument. I know I shouldn't, but it's eating me up inside. Hitoka is also a friend of mine, and I'm pretty sure I should be pissed if she found out Shoichi had the party and didn't invite her. Please tell me you're not plotting something. Huh? What? What are you talking about? That look on your face. It's the I'm about to do something really bad look you have sometimes. What? I'm not doing anything. The likelihood of me believing that is nearly zero. Do you really have that little faith in me? Yes. Rude! I promise you, I'm not up to anything. There, does that ease your worries? Hardly, but I guess that's all I'm getting. Geez, why do you have to be so suspicious of me? I mean, I totally am going to invite Hitoka without saying anything, but geez, what does a guy have to do to get some trust around here? I guess all it takes is not to be me. Nah, I'll worry about the consequences later. Right now, I'll just focus on righting the wrong I'm faced with. I guess I'm done here. I look down at Shoichi's plate to see that there's not even a single crumb left. Jesus, how did you finish it so fast? Heh, I was hungry. I can see that. Give me a few minutes to finish my own food and we can be on our way. Sure, it's not like I have to set time to get home or anything. Yeah, that's a luxury I'm gonna miss once Dad gets back home. You really think he's gonna crack down on you that hard? Maybe he'll give you a bit more freedom since you did just take care of yourself for 2 months. You kidding me? This is my first time going down this road. Sure, this might have been his longest trip yet, but there's no way he's going to miss the opportunity to control me. That means a strict curfew, a limited time to play games, being forced to study for a set number of hours even if I've already reviewed all the subject already, yada yada yada, same old. I really wish your dad would notice the fact that you're already a responsible person on your own and that you don't need ridiculous rules like that. Maybe when pigs fly. Until then, hope is all I have. That sucks. Shuichi is awfully silent right now. I wonder what's going on in that head of his. I'm done. You really are a slowpoke, even when you're eating. Shut up, not everyone inhales their food like you do. Shuichi and I pay for our parts of the bill. We walk back home under the night sky. The stars don't shine nearly as bright as where we are, so close to the heart of the city. Still, it is a pleasant night. Shuichi walks me home before heading back to his own house. I'll get started on that invite for Hitoka-chan. Oh, there we go, there's the bell. Doo-doo-doo. It's pretty. Good morning! Thanks again for coming. Shuichi greets me happily first thing in the morning, a wide smile plastered all over his face. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Oh no, it looks like you have a case of the mornings, a bad one. Tell me about it. Just the sound of my alarm going off is already enough to make my mood tank. Oh, that's his alarm. Okay, that sound was his alarm. Okay. Boy, you really aren't a morning person at all, huh? Good thing I don't live with you. Not like this is the first time you've seen me like this either. That might be true, but it's still amusing nonetheless. Sure, laugh at my misery. I'm just a clown to you, aren't I? Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I kind of want to punch you right now. Well, that would be very bad. Why don't you come on in and relax for a bit before we get started on the preparations for the party? No. Things are clearly already going to be time-consuming as they are. With the amount of dishes I have to make and needing them all to be finished just a bit before it starts, I need to get all the prep work out of the way soon. Not to mention the fact that you still need to deal with the decor. I was hoping you could help me with that, but I wouldn't want to. I was hoping you could help me with that, but I wouldn't want to inconvenience you at this point. You're not in the best mood for me to be asking for more favors. I'm glad you know not to push your luck. But I'm still going to help you with that regardless. Really? Wow, wasn't really expecting that. Sure, once I'm done with the prep work, I can help. I did come prepared to do at least that much. Thanks, Yuuichi. You really are a lifesaver. I walk right past his living room and head straight for the kitchen. Are the ingredients still where I left them? I talk loudly so he can hear me from the living room. Yep, I haven't so much as touched them. Wouldn't want to have you scrambling to find stuff when you're trying to concentrate on cooking. Good boy, at least you have thought this through. I always think stuff through. Also, did you just call me a good boy? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna need to focus on what I'm doing. Talk to you later. I pick up Shoichi's kitchen knife and make sure to inspect it for any nicks or bends on the cutting edge. Sorry, I was looking at my cat over there. One of my cats over there. I also make sure to test out the sharpness before I try to do anything with it, using the honing steel I brought from my house to reline the edges. Poor thing, such high-quality knives are wasted in this household. I wish I could take you puppies home with me. These still look so brand new. I doubt they are used very often. Well, not that it really matters. As soon as I've ascertained that there's no longer anything wrong with the knife, I get to work on chopping and dicing my ingredients. I start with the meats since many of them need to marinate in the sauces for a few hours before they can be cooked. That part luckily doesn't take me very long. The vegetables are a little trickier. I prioritize the ones that I'll need to make the marinades since I need to get the meats soaking as soon as possible. I make sure to chop all that I need to begin preparing my marinades. Soy sauce, oyster sauce, some cooking sake, and a few aromatics. I'm not going to go overboard with anything fancy here. I'm also not going to add any crazy last-minute ingredients like a certain someone I know does. Achoo! Bless you! Would you look at that? I guess the saying is true after all. Anyway, I get the marinades out of the way and put out the bowls in the fridge to rest. Done with that, at least. Now I begin the painstaking process of peeling and dicing all the vegetables. Tomatoes, potatoes, burdocks, scallions, daikon, lotus roots, bamboo shoots, peppers, carrots. And I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. I don't put tomatoes on fruit salad, so I'm not calling the damn thing a fruit either. Either way, by the time I'm done peeling and chopping all my vegetables, my hands are already shaking from exhaustion. Preparing food for this many people really is harder than I thought. I really have to give restaurant workers more credit for all the work they have to do every day. How's it going over there? You've been at it for quite a while. Of course I have. I had piles and piles of vegetables and meats that needed to be prepared, and I'm doing it all by myself. This is supposed to take time. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. Do you need me to help with anything? Nope, I'm already done with the brunt of the work anyway. I just need to tidy the kitchen up, and I can at least rest, and I can leave the rest for when I actually go to cook them in a few hours. Not to mention the fact that I don't want you anywhere near this food. I feel like just having Shoichi touch it would already doom it go bad. Doom it to go bad. Okay. Would already doom it to go bad. Oh, that's great. Does that mean you can help me with the decorating now? At least give me a few minutes to rest. My hands are still stinging from all that work. I feel like my left hand is going to be stuck permanently in a claw shape because of how long I spent holding the vegetables in place. Sorry, of course you can rest. There's no rush. I've gotten a lot of the work done outside in the meantime. How long did it take you to finish the prep work anyway? A little longer than I expected, but you still did everything under 2 hours. Great, I was hoping to get it all wrapped up before lunchtime. It's just a little past 10 a.m. right now, so I'd say you did a pretty good job at that. Heh, thanks. Why don't you go back to the living room and take a break? I'm going to tidy things up for a bit before I walk out there. Then we can both rest for a bit before we continue. Nah, I'll help you tidy up. That way we can get it done faster and you can rest for a little longer. Wow, nice of you. How nice of you. I'm definitely not going to say no to that. You're already doing a ton of work helping me prepare this party, and I'm not joking when I call it a ton of work. This is the least I can do. You could also pay for lunch. That'd be another good way to make it up to me. God, I wasn't expecting you to ask for that. Didn't you just say that this was a ton of work? You could at least buy me food to make up for it, right? I mean, of course, I'm not going to say no, but you really shouldn't be springing this up on me out of nowhere. You could have asked me yesterday night. Oh, don't be so dramatic. We both know you always carry money around and you've never had an issue with treating me before. Again, the treating you isn't the issue. I just don't like having stuff sprung on me. Yeah, whatever you say, princess. You suck. Shoichi orders us some food shortly after we finish the cleaning in the kitchen. We have a relaxing meal whilst chatting up in the living room to some television in the background. You see that guy there? He's the Japanese national volleyball team setter. The guy's a monster, I'm telling you. Unsurprisingly, we were watching a volleyball match. Two top teams in the Japanese circuit going against each other. One of them has Japan's main setter, and the other has Japan's main spiker. Shoichi can't drop the running commentary for the entirety of the match, always gasping and making noises as he watches it going. In fact, I swear I can even see a little twinkle in his eyes as he watches the game. I have seen the twinkle before, of course. He always has it whenever he's talking about or playing volleyball. It's actually the only time when he has it. Oh, that was a very bold setup. Japan's setter, the person Shoichi is definitely watching the closest, just performed an insane move to take the point. You saw that? You saw how he did that? Man, the control that guy has over his body is inhuman. He's like a beast. The ball was already waist high, and it didn't look like anyone could do an overhead toss with it. The setter did what looked like a football sliding tackle to place himself below the ball and tossed it from that position, allowing his team to do a quick attack. Just thinking about the kind of reflexes and skill you need to pull that off, I can easily tell that this player is terrifying. You're plenty like a beast when I watch you on the court, too. Oh, please, don't flatter me. I'm nowhere near that guy's skill level. I will never be. Just an ordinary guy with a hobby, nothing special. I don't know. You really are. If you really were nothing special, I don't think you could have ever become one of the best setters in Junior Japan. You're even asked to join the Japan youth team several times, and I still can't believe you keep denying the requests. I deny them because I have much more important things to do. If I were to spend that much time on volleyball, I wouldn't be able to deal with any of my obligations. But you love volleyball. Why not do it? I like volleyball as a hobby, but by no means do I love it. Nice try, Pinocchio, as if anyone is going to believe that. I'm serious. It sounds like you're trying to convince yourself more than anything. I still maintain that I think you could become just as good as that guy. It's a nice thought, but miracles don't happen in the real world, you know? I think you have a tendency to sell yourself short far too often. Whatever you say. Can we just drop this subject? Fine, forget I said anything. Thank you. Ugh, so frustrating. Every time I try to encourage him to pursue volleyball more passionately, he gets prickly like this. It's so obvious to me that he loves volleyball, and yet he keeps acting as if this is just whatever to him. It makes my blood boil. Not to mention how much of a waste it is. Someone of his skill level shouldn't just quietly enroll into a college and become some dime a dozen salarymen. I think our break has gone on long enough. How about we just get back to work? Sure, what do you need me to do? Help me hang the banner and the ribbons. One thing I can already tell you for sure, you bought too many ribbons. We don't have to use them all. Isn't that a waste? What else would you use them for? What does it matter? They're super cheap anyway. You really should value your money more. It's not wasted if spending it brings me joy. Whatever you say, Buster. Grab the other end of the banner for me. Also, why did you buy a congratulations it's a boy sign and then paint over it? Well, they don't make any signs that say, welcome home, Dad, do they? Weren't you going to have a sign custom made for it? I was, but the only place I found that does that sort of thing said they couldn't meet my deadline. I ended up doing it myself. Looks so sloppy, though. Yeah, well, arts and crafts was never really my thing, okay? Just shut up and help me hang this damn thing. Aye, aye, Captain. And wipe that irritating grin off your face. Sheesh, someone's cranky all of a sudden. That's your fault for making fun of my handiwork. Now move. How long do we have until the guests start to arrive? About 6 hours. We still have plenty of time. Oh, good. That means I don't have to worry about not being able to finish all the cooking. You already did most of the time-consuming stuff anyway, so it should be fine. By the way, are you sure you don't want me to help you with the cooking? I think I'd just go faster if you took care of the preparations and left the cooking to me. I'm not good at sharing a kitchen. Sheesh, you're really crappy at teamwork, huh? Actually, I just don't want to risk you giving everyone food poisoning. Alright, a good place to pause it right there. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!